So, update from the RIPE NCC. I think we'll have a presentation in a moment. Why are we doing these things? So, the RIPE NCC is a membership association. It is your membership association, assuming that you're a member. And if you're not a member, but member of the community, we are yours as well, because we want to do things that support the communities. So, apart from just giving you an update of what we have been busy with over the last half year or so, or since the last ENOG meeting, this is also a prime opportunity to grab us by the neck and tell us things you always wanted to tell us, so in terms of feedback. So again, I'm Axel. Normally I work in Amsterdam when I'm there. Also, sometimes I work in other places in the world. Speaking about the RIPE NCC, like I said, it's the secretariat for the internet community in our service region. We do all sorts of things that our members and need to do sort of together in a neutral place. One of those things that we do very prominently is to allocate internet addresses. You've probably seen that. Good morning, Dima. And autonomous system numbers as well. We are maintaining the RIPE database, the software, and the registry part of that. And of course, you use the database also to fill in all sorts of data about your stuff. So we do other things as well, based on the fact that we are a neutral organization, neutral place that you do things together. RIPE Stat, giving you access to all sorts of statistics about the workings of the internet, doing measurements of things on the internet through the RIPE Atlas network, and all sorts of other tools and services, running a root name server, for instance, and similar things. We do this through or enabled by the membership fees that you are paying us. We are fully autonomous in that sense. We do what our members tell us to do, and that's it. We don't listen to, well, we listen to lots of people, but of course the authority comes from our members. We claim, and I hope that you can see that we are open, transparent, neutral, and impartial. So, our focus for this year, and I do realize the year's half gone already, but our board has been debating with us what our strategic focus should be for this year, sometime last year. So they said rethinking our service delivery and ensuring the accuracy of the registry and the RIPE database would be important. We should do more outreach, continue the outreach as well to stay connected with our members and other stakeholders of the community at large. We should strengthen the global RIR system. Of course, there are 5 regional internet registries like ourselves, and to ensure that we all together remain accountable, transparent, and resilient. And also to go and reach out to our members by all ways that we can, and to understand what your needs are and to implement what you need from us. Speaking of members and membership growth, it continues to be quite exciting. Now, we say this slide says membership growth, but the graph is actually about local internet registries. And as you know full well, I assume, there are members who hold more than one of those local internet registries. So we see rapid growth there, probably by now, seeing as, okay, it's not quite 19,000, June has just started. But it's going up and to the right quite dramatically. Nearly 3,000 new LIRs over the last 12 months. We have not seen that growth before. And we do think that is mainly by these days focused or fueled by the remaining IPv4 address space, the last /8 address. Any new member can get a /22, as you probably know. And we see lots of people, lots of organizations making use of that. So it's interesting maybe to note that the last /8, as we knew it, 185/8, has been depleted. It's gone. It's gone. It's really all gone. But our members have been very nice and honest over the last couple of years, and they did return some address space to us. So that allows us to continue to allocate those /22s to you, and we think this will last probably for about 2 more years. So that's that. As we expected, the scarcity of IPv4 would probably fuel an increase in address transfers. And yes, we do see that happening. But interestingly enough, we see a slightly downward trend there. And just for now, ignore 2017. So you see from 14 to 16, a slight decrease there. And looking at 2017, oops, that's a lot. But we don't think those were market transfers. We see quite a number there, like nearly 80% of the addresses being transferred between related entities, subsidiaries of the same group, business restructuring, consolidations, things like that. So if you look at the remaining nearly 5 million addresses, that continues the downward trend. Right, so seeing that that was of course the number of addresses being transferred, but we do see that the amount of actual transfer events is increasing and causes quite a lot of work at home, in the office. We also see another interesting trend, more LIRs without IPv6. That's sort of interesting. We didn't really expect that. But when we look at it, we think that, oh yeah, of course, there's lots of /22s being given out under the last /8 policy there. And that mainly are people that already have upstream connectivity through V6, through their upstreams basically. And of course, organizations with multiple LIRs probably won't need IPv6 for every single LIR. So that's interesting, but probably to be expected if you think about it. Right. I mentioned that the RIPE NCC is a membership association under Dutch law. And as any proper membership association, we have members, and the members meet regularly twice a year to hold a general meeting to do all things members do formally. So we had a general meeting 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago, I think, in Marseille at the RIPE meeting. We had board elections. 2 new board members were elected there, and that was Piotr, and who was the other one? Oh. Brain fart here. I'll come back to that later. You also voted on, if you remember, you voted on the charging scheme, and that's a little bit boring. We understand it's the same as last year, and there weren't really options for changes there. But we do hear from our community, from our members, that they would like to see more options there to vote on a different charging scheme. And our board has heard that. We have heard that, of course, as well. And they will look into this. We will look into this as well and see what we can do about that for next year. The other board member, of course, Falk von Bonstede, a German member. So Falk and Piotr are the new board members. Sorry about that. We have an arbitration panel. You know that if any conflicts among members arise, or maybe between members and the RIPE NCC, we have arbiters who look at those cases and decide then on those. We have new arbiters. We have one from Iran as well. It's a couple of them, and they were running low a little bit. Some people sort of walked away and did other things, and so we replenished the arbitration panel there. And of course, as happens in a general meeting, hopefully the executive board is discharged from the duties as they have documented them in the annual report of the previous year, so that happened as well. And there will be another general meeting. That will be at the next RIPE meeting. That'll be in Amsterdam, of course. Everybody is very welcome to come to the RIPE meeting, and our members, when they register, please do register, are welcome to participate there, either in person or remotely. Right, activities in Russia. We have loads of members in Russia. We have more than 1,500 member accounts as of June, that's now. And of those, more than 1,100 with IPv6, that's good, but keep it up. We have done more than 5,000 IPv4 allocations, yes, thank you, and more than 1,200 IPv6 allocations. We have more than 470 RIPE Atlas probes connected, and in case you hold Atlas probes, make sure they are connected. We see not everybody has them connected. Maybe they're still on the desk. Please have a look and plug them in. We have 5 Atlas anchors in the country. Oh, you might have heard about the GDPR. That's interesting. The EU General Data Protection Regulation became applicable, kicked off on the 25th of May. That was an interesting, or still is an interesting event, I think, for all of the people running things in the internet and others. We have done an internal project a year ago, started an internal project a year ago, and we believe at this point that we are fully GDPR compliant. We are looking at some details, and there will be some small changes in how the database works. But there's a lot of more detail on RIPE Labs, lots of articles there, or a couple of them. If you want to read them, you're more than welcome. Oh, Internet of Things, you might have heard about that. It's a highly hyped thing. Lots of things happening there very, very rapidly, some with safety and security concerns. The RIPE community has formed, after a couple of BOFs, a new working group. I'm very happy with that around IoT, because that working group will in the end tell us what they expect from the RIPE NCC in this area. Capacity building, we do lots of regional meetings like this one. So we've done one in Tehran a couple of weeks ago, and we'll go to Timisoara soon. And of course, hey, we are in Moscow today. We do member lunches when we do other events like trainings and the like, member lunches in the city. We do an IPv6 roadshow program, train the trainer, lots of other training courses as well. We do occasional country focus meetings. We'll go to Kazakhstan later this year. We do meetings, roundtable meetings for governments and also for law enforcement. We have greater engagement in the Caucasus area with a dedicated staff member there as well. NOGs, we like NOGs, we support NOGs, ENOG, MENOG, and also other more regional or more national ones. As we know, there are more than 25 NOGs in our service region. Let us know if you don't find yourself on our NOG page that we have on our web pages. We do like to support local NOGs, especially when they are new, with a little bit of financial support, some venue help, some catering, social events, stuff like that. We have done this. Actually, RIPE started as a network operators group some 30 years ago, nearly 30 years ago. Oh my God. So our goals there is to connect with the participants and to have them connect with each other, obviously, as you do here, to support the local and regional relationships, to engage and to help internet development. Good things. Looking at policy, basically what we see currently in the policy arena after the Abuse C policy has been approved is what's left over. There's mostly housekeeping, wording, clarifications, making the text better and better, understandable. In terms of training, we do lots of training, lots of webinars on all sorts of topics. I'm speeding up a little bit here. We do a new thing, it's Educa, it's sort of a day-long webinar on a specific theme. They seem quite popular, it's relatively new. The next one comes up this week on the 6th of the 6th, of course, on IPv6, as it should be. We have the RIPE NCC Academy doing sort of self-paced learning. We are looking at all sorts of, what do you call that, certification activities there to make the learning experience good, thank you, and efficient for you. We have, that's another nice graphic that we have on our website. It's a new visualization tool for the IXP country JEDI. This one basically in cooperation with the folks from APNIC looks at user-to-user connectivity or connections within a country. There's lots of details in the slide. I do recommend that you read the labs articles, the first one on the list when you go to labs.ripe.net. Yeah, it's another visualization tool. It's nice to look at, gives lots of interesting information. We call it a sketch. It's not necessarily 100% correct in our assumptions, the way we look at things, but It's, yeah, something new, something fresh. The RIPE IP map looks at crowdsourcing the geolocation for internet infrastructure. That's not an entirely new project, but it has a new name. Fellowships and funding, the RACI initiative brings young academics into the community with their research projects with nice and interesting presentations. You'll see a couple of them here as well. I did mention the fellowships. We have 4 ENOG fellows here, Sergey, Dennis, Anna, and Mansour. I haven't seen Mansour yet. Looking again at getting people to come to the meetings where maybe they can't otherwise if we don't help them a little bit. So tickets, travel, accommodation, there's a whole website there on the fellowships as well. Next RIPE meeting, like I said, in Amsterdam. I would like to promise you good weather, but it's October in Amsterdam. It will be nice. It'll be a nice meeting. We can sit inside and have coffee and parties as well. Maybe it will be really, really nice outside as well. So that basically brings me to the end of my presentation. However, I have one more thing to say. I do understand that there are changes in administration and rules and tax laws, maybe, probably. Yes, there are changes, I know. We have a rough understanding of what this is about, something about membership fees and service fees. We would like you to engage with us and tell us what your concerns are, what we should be doing to make your life easy. Gwen is here as our CFO. She is responsible for the invoices and what we write on them. So you do want to interact with her and with me and with our local Russian staff maybe as well. So any questions? Any questions? And I don't have my... Thank you. I'll get it. Yes.
Hello, Axel. My name is Ilya.
Ilya.
IP broker, ipaddress.ru.
You were saying that that recently, so then 185th block finished recently, right? And then you started to provide all networks so that the members returned. And so the question has to do with this. When, in your view, in your calculation, so the /22 networks will finish in one block for new members, right? When will they finish?
You tell me. It depends on what you are doing and how many of how many new members we get, how many members open LIRs and that. Currently, we think about 2 years. We'll have about 2 years. We look at, of course, also what impact that will have on our income, our membership fees. So we're preparing for that. But we think currently about 2 more years of IPv4 blocks, small ones.
Now, my question. So when will, in one block, /22, when, not 424 or 223rd, but one block, 22, when will it finish?
Address blocks, we run out of address blocks at the current policy, right? /22s over 2 years' time. Of course, we have seen initiatives to change the policy to maybe make the blocks smaller, /23, /24. Those policies haven't gone through. If they would, that would change the picture, probably. But yeah, it's in the future. I don't know.
So now, do we have right now any firm decisions that in a year's time the new members will be issued smaller networks in size?
No, we don't have that. If you want to bring forward a policy like that, then you're very welcome. I've heard a rumor like 2 years ago that somebody was thinking about it, but it wasn't. No hard decision at all.
Хорошо. И
Okay, and then I'd like just to publicly make one wish for LAG portal. That's one public wish. So we have created, half a year ago, we had created a ticket, and would like to see in LAG portal and API, so the date against each network when this 24-month blocking will be removed, so that we could see it at each block or in IP portal when this blocking will be removed against each one. It's a wish. It's a wish. Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else? Right, if there are no other questions, you know where to find us and me.
Еще вопросы, пожалуйста. Спасибо, Илья. Спасибо.
Any more questions? Thank you, Axel. Thank you.